Attorney General Jeff Sessions accusing a federal judge in Hawaii of undermining national security after that judge poked a huge hole in the president's travel ban and greatly expanded the number of refugees that can be admitted into the U.S. Sessions also declaring they'll take the fight back to the Supreme Court. Here to discuss, Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, Gina Loudon, and Tammy Bruce. Colonel, I'm going to start with you. You've been in the military. You've seen all these kinds of things up close. So here's what happened. Instead of restraining this to immediate family members, now grandparents, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews, cousins. Let me tell you, I'm from North Carolina. If you tell me cousins are admissible, it's like a lot of people, okay? I'm saying. What do you make of this, Colonel?
Well, being born and raised down in Georgia and attending the University of Tennessee, I understand exactly what you're talking about. For this judge, I will say two words: Tashfeen Malik. Tashfeen Malik was the wife of Saeed Farouk, the San Bernardino couple who gunned down 14 innocent people there at a Christmas party. We do not need to have judicial activism thinking that they can supplant and undermine our national security strategy and policy. And furthermore, this is just a temporary travel halt. It was only supposed to last for 90 days until we refined our procedures and processes. And here we have this lower court judge that is stepping in and confounding the situation. But this is the result of Barack Obama and what he and Harry Reid did when they lifted the 60 votes on lower court judge appointments, and they flooded it with these liberal judges who are standing in the way of our national security.
Tammy, I'm wondering, you know, I kind of made light of this at the beginning, but I think this is a super serious topic, and it really concerns me who we're letting into this country. I'm wondering what impact this might have on the 50,000 person limit on refugees that the president wants to put in place.
Well, if this activist judge is suddenly making executive decisions, it would have a tremendous impact, because what it does is it not only changes who's available and who could be brought in based on, really, remember, it's from only these nations which have no functioning government or have been terrorist supporting nations. So this means that I'm not sure how you determine who's a cousin. And if it's going to be taking the word for someone, how many cousins do you have? How many aunts and uncles? The issue is that we can't determine genuinely who these individuals are, and that's the issue. So it could, it almost makes the 50,000 person cap completely irrelevant. But the Supreme Court decision really was very specific. They meant to allow Donald Trump and the Trump administration to determine what the relationships would be, because because they didn't put that in specifically. But when it came to the agreements that you would need to have to come in, they were very specific about what the left couldn't do. Like, it wasn't you would suddenly have a list of a lot of people with an association with you. So they chose to not be specific for a reason, and that means that they wanted Trump to make the decision, and I think this Hawaiian judge will fail.
So that's what I was going to bring up with Gina, because the Supreme Court weighed in and they said, as I understood it, they supported the administration here. So now we seem to be back at square one of letting just about anybody in my view. Do you think it's that wide open?
Yeah, a few important facts, like you mentioned, the Supreme Court has already weighed in on this. 9-0. This wasn't something they were iffy about. So these pre-programmed activist judges that Colonel alluded to are really just looking a little bit like, like the Joker and Batman and Robin, while the president and Attorney General Sessions are out there tending to the business of being superheroes, just trying to keep Americans safe. They are distracting and trying to create their own fake facts. And let's also remember, this original list for this temporary travel ban, was Obama's list. Let's not forget that. And let's not forget, too, this would all be said and done, Jerry, as you alluded to, had they just not caused the problem in the beginning, because it was a 90-day proposition to re-examine our vetting processes.
You got that right.
So
Colonel,
simple.
Tammy, Gina, thank you so much. Appreciate that very interesting analysis.